Jared Poland, FroKnowsPhoto.com, and this is your
World Champions!
That editing sucks.
Photo News Fix. This fix is brought to you by Wirestock, and need I say more? Yes, I need to say more, just in case you didn't know that Wirestock is still the easiest way to sell your photos, videos, and vectors online. It's simple. You upload your photos or videos to Wirestock, they tag and keyword them for you, and then distribute them for sale on the largest stock websites like Shutterstock, Adobe Stock, Pond5, and now Getty Images, as well as iStock Photos. You do all this from one free single account, no subscriptions or flat fees. When you sell something, Wirestock takes 15% and you get the rest. So far, out of the 3,600 people who have signed up with my link, they've had 70,000 downloads and generated over $30,000 in sales. To sign up for free right now, head on over to bit.ly/wirefro313. First up, it looks like Atomos is looking to be more than just a one-trick pony.
A donkey show?
Last month, Atomos announced that they developed an 8K video sensor, and now we have some more info. Atomos is calling their 8K sensor Sapphire.
Does anybody remember laughter?
This sensor is capable of shooting 8K video at 60 frames per second, has phase detection autofocus, and utilizes a global shutter. In an interview with Petapixel, the CEO of Atomos, Trevor Elborn, shared more info about the sensor, as well as discussed their original plans to create a full-fledged cinema camera. The Sapphire has a 17:9 aspect ratio, global full-frame shutter, can shoot 4K up to 240 frames per second, 1080 up to 360 frames per second, has 15 stops of dynamic range, and doesn't generate a lot of heat. It also is capable of shooting HDR video by doing something called line-by-line dual exposure, which captures both long and short exposures to create an HDR image. Atomos originally set out to create a fully functional camera and not just the image sensor, but it was taking longer than they expected. And in fact, in that time, Blackmagic had released their own cinema camera, and that's why Atomos is now focused on producing just the sensor and teaming up with other camera manufacturers. Now, it's going to be interesting to see where this all leads, and if the Sapphire finds its way into a camera someday, or just ends up being a little bit of something that they spent a lot of money on. Next up, it looks like DSLRs aren't dead just yet. Phone call. I wonder who that could be. Hello? Oh, it's Jared from the future, reminding all of us that DSLRs are in fact dead, regardless of what this news story is about to tell you. Thanks, Jared. According to the website pentaxrumors.com, wait, there's a rumor site for Pentax rumors? What, do they get like 4 visitors a month with like 1 rumor a year? Anyway, according to pentaxrumors.com, Ricoh, who owns Pentax, by the way, is about to announce the KF DSLR. Now, there were no specs shared, but these 3 images did leak. According to DIYphotography.net, the KF looks similar to the design of the K70, which was released all the way back in 2016 when the world was a hell of a lot different, was a hell of a lot more different. That's better. The 3 colors will be black, crystal white, and crystal blue, and I'm wondering, where is Crystal Light? You know, that iced tea from the 80s that people used to drink. Anyway, the crystal white and crystal blue will be a limited offering with a whopping 700 units each. That means they're expecting to sell tens upon tens of these cameras.
How dare you?
The price of the body is only said to be around $800, with the kit selling for just $200 more. The moral of the story is, it's a light news week and I needed to report on something, and that something included
Pentax?
a camera company that's about to go the way of the dodo. Speaking of dodos, have you checked out the Froknows Photo podcast yet? It's in full effect and we have new episodes every Friday. If you haven't checked out any of the previous 23 episodes, head on over to froknowsphoto.com/podcast to give them a listen, or just search out Froknows Photo Raw Talk wherever you get yours, and I guarantee you'll like it.
You want me to take a dump in a box and mark it guaranteed, I will.
Or your money back. And finally, Fuji has announced yet another non-full frame camera in the way of the X-T5. The X-T5 sports a cropped 40.2 megapixel X-Trans sensor in a body that's similar to prior iterations. Can I say trans and body in the same sentence without getting canceled?
Depends.
The camera is capable of shooting up to 15 frames per second with the mechanical shutter and 20 with the electronic, though it comes with a slight crop when using the electronic, which is on top of an already cropped sensor. You've got 7 stops of image stabilization, a max shutter speed of 1/8,000th of a second with the mechanical shutter, and 1/180,000th of a second with the electronic one, and that's super fast. In terms of autofocus, the X-T5 incorporates deep learning tech to recognize animals, birds, which are actually animals, vehicles, bikes, airplanes, trains, and marks.
My name is Mark Ratner.
You know, people who for some reason decide to buy Fuji crop sensor cameras over everything else. One of the reasons people like to buy Fuji cameras is they like the manual dials. The X-T5 has a dial for ISO, shutter speed, and exposure compensation. In terms of video, it can record 6.2K video at 30p and oversampled video in 4K HQ mode when you shoot in F-Log2. The camera is expected to ship in November at a price of $1,700 for the body only, and I do not expect to be testing this camera out yet again, as I'm still blacklisted by Fuji Japan after all of these years.
What did you do?
In fact, I've actually talked to numerous other creators who were also banned by Fuji Japan as well, and it's not just me, all right? So don't say that, Jared, because you make videos like this, Fuji Japan doesn't want to talk to you. They don't want to talk to me anyway, so I'll say what I want to say. My hot take on a camera like this is simple. If you're looking to become an actual photographer, invest in a system you can actually grow with. Get a Canon R7 or Sony a7 IV, and that's what you should do. And there you have it. That's your photo news fix this time around. To check out the last fix, go ahead and click on the screen right here. Don't forget to like, share, comment, and subscribe. And that's where I'm going to leave it. JaredPolinfronosPhoto.com. See ya.